this thing is really palletized and packed nicely. A nice pallet. I'm going to hang on to that. Blue tag will stay, as it has on all my Eastonmade splitters. Got a new hat. Yeah, these flat face couplers will not work on my tractor. I have the agricultural type connectors right there, and they're quite a bit smaller too. So we'll have to get to the hydraulic shop, change those out. And the splitter assembly, I think, needs to be moved over to this side of the mounting plate. Yeah, it's mounted there. I can move that over here to this side, offset the splitter a little bit so that this wedge and assembly will be out here where it'll be more visible to me from the seat. Let's go ahead and take these straps off. I think I'll go ahead and take the forklift off and actually mount the MS 324 on the loader arms, and then we'll look at offsetting the splitter head over here to this side a little bit. All right, I've got it all unstrapped. Have it mounted on the front of the loader arms, and I think I may try it in this position before I move that splitting head over, because I'm thinking that in most cases it will be tilted straight down, and I think I'll be able to see it from the seat. But we'll give it a try, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go ahead and move it over here to the offset position. I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get the proper quick connects that I need. Got to head out to the hydraulic shop, and want to do that before they close for the day. So I think we'll take back up in the morning and see if we can't get this thing running. All right, it's the next morning, and I got to the hydraulic shop last night. Got the fittings I needed to change from the 3/4 inch hose down to the I'm not sure what it is, quarter, half, 3/8 hose on my tractor. And I also got some 90-degree elbows to go in there, because that's what I have on my grapple. But I'm not sure I'm going to need those. I may decide to run the hose straight into those couplings on the tractor. I moved the hose clamps on the splitter head over here because that seemed to line up fairly well with the 90-degree pieces. But I may move it back over to this point once I get everything set up. I'm definitely going to move the splitter head offset over to this side. I mounted it on the tractor, picked it up, got a look at what I would see with it in the current position, and I really think it needs to be offset over here. So I've blocked the splitter head up here on a couple of blocks. I'm going to go ahead and take that backing plate off and slide it over this way, or slide the splitter head over that way, reattach it to the mounting plate, and we'll see how that works out. And then we'll go ahead and get the hoses routed the best way that we can. Put the clamps back on the hoses, tie wrap them, and hopefully we'll be ready to go. So stick with me. That was a bit of a bear getting that off there alone, but got it off. Splitter heads on the pallet, and the mounting brackets on the tractor. So I'm going to move the tractor over now, see if I can get those holes lined up, and attach it in the new position. All right, I've got the splitting head moved over to the offset position, and I've taken the hose clamps off both of the mounting positions there to see which is going to work best. And I think I'm going to come over through here like that, and use these 90-degree fittings down here. Maybe do that one there. That'll leave this loop hopefully standing up in the air like this. A couple that I've seen on YouTube where they've mounted them to compact tractors, that's kind of what they got. So that one would go like that. And this one would go like that. I'll have to change the angle on these, but that's no problem. All right, I think I'll go ahead and clamp these down here on this clamp, and then go ahead and make the adjustments up here on the fittings. All right, that's pretty much what I came up with. I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up now. Put the loader arm through its range of motion. Make sure nothing's binding. Not sure about that. Maybe this fitting should be on the outside of that one. Go ahead and change that and see what it looks like. All right, that way. Starting to wonder if I'd be better off going straight in instead of having those elbows. And then maybe I could put a bungee cord around here and keep the hose up in that position. Only one way to find out. Okay, I've got the hoses run straight into the connection on the loader arm for the hydraulics. Hoses look good. Looks good in that position. Let me tip it up, which is pretty much where I would have it for transport. Looks good. Now let's try the splitter ram. I know it's going to be slow because the gallons per minute on this hydraulic system is not too high, but let's see. Hey, that's fine for splitting big rounds in half or quarter. Plenty fast enough. We take it up to about 2,000 RPMs. Okay, I think that's going to work out. Time to go find some big rounds and see if it'll split them. Well, I came back here in the wood yard and I had some big rounds. There's a big oak round, and I thought I had the camera going, but I apparently didn't push the record button. But I split several big rounds with the MS 324. Some oak, poplar. I'll tell you, that poplar was a big poplar, and that stuff is stringy and tough. tough to split after it's been sitting for a while. And another oak over here. But I've got one big one left here, and I'm going to go ahead and split that one up, and probably this smaller one too. But this log right here is a good example of one that's actually the 22-28 in the box wedge can split it, but it's hard to handle, hard to get on the log lift. And what happens, as you've seen in some of my other videos, is the center of the log goes through and you get 1, 2, 3, 4 uniform splits because there's a wedge on the inside and the outside of those pieces. But on the outside here and on the outside over here, with a real big log, you get a real big chunk that splits off that you have to bring back and resplit. And that's the main reason I wanted this 324. I can take a log like this and split it down into quarters, and it's manageable. And I can get it up here on the log lift, get it into the cradle, run it through without getting those huge splits on the outside of the wedge. And the other thing with the real big logs, if you split them whole, is sometimes you have to rotate them a little bit. And with a log like this, if I have it in quarters, all I have to do is run it through, pull it back with a pull-back arm, run it through again, and it's taken care of. So I'm going to put you on the tripod here, and we'll go ahead and use the MS 324 to split this up and show you how we can get it down into manageable pieces. Definitely a learning curve on how to position the splitter and so on, but I'm sure I'll get it. But as you can see, it goes right on through that big oak. No problem at all. There you have it. What was a totally unmanageable, not unmanageable, but manageable with a lot of effort log is now in size pieces that can be pretty easily handled. Well, folks, I'd say that's pretty much a success. I took a round that I would have had to struggle with, even to roll onto the log lift. And once I got it up there, I know I'd be dealing with those outside splits where I'd have to bring them back and resplit them and maybe turn the log. But now I've got manageable pieces. I can easily take my pickaroon and slide them over to the log lift and get them up there and split them on through. And if you get a lot of big wood, and I get a lot of big tree service wood, I think this machine is going to be absolutely fantastic. Be great for knocking this stuff down to where you can handle it a little bit easier. So leave a comment below what you think about it. I'm pretty impressed, and it's not real fast, but it doesn't need to be, because it's not like you're doing production splits with this, so you're just getting them down to a manageable size. Yeah, real pleased. MS 324 from Eastonmade, and I can see it's going to be getting used a lot in my wood yard with the big wood that I get. So again, leave a comment below. If you like this sort of thing, be sure and push that like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a comment below. Share the video with your friends. If you're thinking about one of these, I'd highly recommend it. And until the next time, as I always say, keep moving. So keep moving, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.